Tradelines are the fastest way to fix your credit. Yes, they are. And here's a success story that I want to share with you. My name is Credit Coach Nicole Scott, and this is part 4 of the Tradelines Masterclass. So not only am I going to share with you everything that you need to know about trade lines, the different types of trade lines, but I'm going to show you how you can level up and benefit from other people's good credit, aka authorized users. And debate with me if you want to, but I've been doing this for many years and I don't care what anybody else says. Authorized user accounts still help because they add comparable credit. And this is exactly what we did with my client here, who was able to get a $20,000 credit card with Navy Federal. And you can see we clearly get the results, right? So here it is, $20K approval. This was earlier this year in January. And we were working together for almost a year now, right? We've got a couple more months together, but she did a 1-year program with me and she was already paying someone for credit repair. She wasn't getting the results. Her highest credit limit was like $3,500. She's a business owner. She just couldn't get over $700 and qualify for the things that she actually needed. So we started working on getting the negative items corrected as much as we could. We focused on building up some relationships with banks, and then we did what's called a secured loan. All right, secured pledge loan. That's basically where you're using your savings account as collateral to build credit, essentially. So we did a secured savings loan for $20,000. No hard credit pull for the secured savings loan. We did that about 3 months prior to applying for anything, okay? And mind you, the longer that you can let that sit before you apply for credit products, the better. We paid that thing off about 85% after 30 days. We let it report, we paid it off 85%. So that way the debt that's actually owed is very little compared to what she started with, right? And then she's on a small auto pay every month for like the next 2 years until it's paid in full. Then we went and applied for the credit card, and she was approved for $20,000. We always want to apply late at night when it comes to credit cards with credit unions and credit card companies. That's best to apply online. There are some credit cards where it's best to apply with a relationship manager at the bank, like Chase or US Bank or PNC, Bank of America, you know, all those major banks. But when it comes to credit unions, sometimes it's a lot easier, or you're going to get the same kind of approvals as you would with their online system because they just don't have as many branch offices. Just like with Navy Federal, they don't have a whole lot of branch offices, so they make their online platform very user-friendly. You can go on, pre-qualify for cards. You always want to start with this green cash rewards card, all right? I made the mistake. I wasn't educated. I selected the American Express one first because I wanted to get into American Express's system, and it worked, you know, but my card to this day is still like one of the lowest credit limits. So we want to try to go after the green cash rewards card first, and then you can go after the black flagship card, which is a signature Visa card. So you know, anytime you see the word signature on credit cards, that is going to be like a higher tier card, and usually those give out higher tier limits. So now we are going after more funding. You can see here she was also approved for equipment financing. She was approved for Chase for $30,000 on the business side. And then she was approved for Chase for $18,700 on the personal side. So, you know, that's great because basically we built up the credit profile so that way she can open up more doors and opportunities with other financial institutions. And you saw what happened. First, we applied for the $20,000 credit card. We let that report, okay? And then we went after the Chase on the personal side because we wanted to use that as comparable credit. Mind you, the credit trade lines that she purchased are also on there as well. So we had purchased 2 authorized user trade lines before she applied for anything. All right. So we set ourselves up for success, started building those relationships, did the pledge loan, and then right at the very end, right before we were ready to apply for funding, we added those trade lines, let them report, and she added 2 high limit trade lines around 20K, 25K or so. So those helped, plus the pledge loan. That combination, that strategy right there is just set up for success, my friends. I had someone in the credit community just tell me they did the same thing with a client and they ended up getting $80,000 auto loan approval. I mean, this is what you do to get those high limits in combination with the pledge loan and adding authorized user accounts to your credit profile. You know, you already need to have some, primaries, right? Primaries are going to be the best, right? You have to have primary accounts, but you're going to use these authorized users to get that score so you can qualify for higher limits and better, credit cards on the personal side. So that way you can leverage your personal credit to get better business credit approvals. And you'll see the sad face was because the Sapphire Reserved card has a $550 annual fee. So that's why she's like, I picked the wrong card. But you can see that strategy helped open up the doors for other institutions. And you'll see here, she was saying, hey, my client was saying, hey, I thought I was going to get higher because Navy Federal gave me $20,000, but Chase only gave me $18,700. And I've got to remind people that, normally Chase is not giving out super high limits on the personal side without a relationship there. She did not have a relationship. She did not have a bank account with them. She was not working with any sort of relationship manager. She simply went into her local branch and sat down with the relationship manager and explained what it is that she needed. And this is a great approval, because he was even saying to her, this is what she said. And I told her the same thing. Banks aren't really giving out more than 10,000 if, period. That's just how it is right now. A lot of banks are much more reserved, but if you build your credit profile accordingly, right, and you spend, pay, your limits are going to be very high. So you can see the power of comparable credit and how that just helped open up the door for other banks to say, oh, sure, Navy gave you 20K, we'll give you 18.7. And even the banker was surprised by this because he was like, yeah, normally, approvals aren't more than like 5,000-10,000. And, if you build your credit profile, the funding will come. If you build it, they will come. The field of dreams. You have to build your own dreams, guys, because if you try to take the shortcuts in life and try to build the fast way with all these fintech companies and easy credit builders, no other bank out there is going to take them serious. Do you really think Chase is going to look at some of those credit builders and be like, oh, wow, this bank, never heard of them, but sure, they trust you with, XYZ, we will too. And that's another reason why I do not recommend purchasing primary trade lines from these no-name companies, if they will even post, that is. I have used several people out there. I've tested several people out there. I do not know anyone that I can personally vouch for that has primary trade lines that actually post to the credit, unless you do it yourself the right way, which is doing the secured loans, maybe a credit strong account or two, but doing it the right way by building your relationships up with the banks, doing the secured savings loan. Don't try to have microwavable success, because If you are trying to fast track, this is as fast as it's going to get, where you're still going to be able to reap long-term benefits. Because where else out there can you boost your credit score sometimes over 100 points and get this type of funding so quickly? Nowhere. So this is the fastest way to boost up your credit profile when the time is right, of course, right? So we went over how it was done. We cleaned up the credit. And if you need help with that, all you have to do is just book a call with me and I can go over what the best options would be for you based on your goals, based on your budget, so on and so forth. We build up the banking relationships. So we wanted to find credit unions and we wanted to seek out some other banks that she would be interested in. And we did some credit stacking. So we were applying for multiple accounts at the same time using the same credit bureau. All right. So that's really important to understand. You have to have some strategy behind there. And as those inquiries are coming in, we're cleaning them up. We also did a $20,000 secured savings loan, aka a pledge loan, and you can do a $20,000 secured loan with multiple financial institutions. So if you wanted to do one with Navy Federal, that money is still going to be accessible to you in your checking account. So you can transfer those funds over to another credit union like PenFed or DCU or San Diego Federal Credit Union. There's thousands of other credit unions out there that also do pledge loans. And inside of the credit kit, I've got some guides and information on that as well. But there's other opportunities. So seek out 3 credit unions. And, the credit unions are the most important because they're very relationship based, right? A lot of banks are turning that corner where they are more relationship based. However, a lot of banks like Chase have so many credit card products that they can't just be relationship based. They have to open up the playing field so you don't have to have a relationship with a lot of these national banks, even though they want you to, okay? But with credit unions like Navy Federal, Apple Federal Credit Union, DCU, which is now merging with First Tech, and another merger that's happening is Discover and Capital One, which you don't have to have a relationship with them. So a lot of the national banks, no relationship is needed, although it might be best for some of your goals. If your goal is to get a line of credit, then you definitely want to build the relationship with the bank. But with credit unions, you have to have a personal account and you have to have an account with them in order to apply for their credit products. You have to be a member with them, right? So I've had people that have gone straight to like NASA Federal Credit Union and said, I was denied for their credit card. I have like a 780 credit score. It doesn't matter. You have to be a member with them, all right? So doing the pledge loans, and then after that first cycle has reported for the pledge loan, we pay it down about 85% and then just set up a small auto pay for a few dollars a month. So that way every month you're still having the balance drop down a bit. You're having a payment recorded. We want to keep that pledge loan open for a minimum of 2 years, 24 months. Okay. So you can schedule out your auto pays for that time. So that way maybe your last one will be 28 months, something like that, right? But keeping that account open is important because we need to have the history. We need the history to show to other creditors that we can manage accounts long term and pay as agreed, aka pay on time. That's most important, right? And then right before we were going to apply for funding, we added a few aged authorized user accounts that were about, 20, 25K in limits. So nice age of like 7 years. That's kind of where we needed to be for this client. Some people don't need a ton of age. If you have a really thin credit profile, and you don't have much going on, you can probably add trade lines that are 2 to 4 years of age, and it would still give you a really good credit score. I've had people that have come to me with a 750 credit score, all built off of authorized user accounts, which is considered synthetic credit. Even though the credit score looks great, they couldn't get approved for squat because they didn't understand the concept. You got to build the relationships with the banks or go after credit cards with banks that you have a relationship with, especially when you have a thin profile. If you have an established credit profile, I mean, that does the talking, right? But if you don't have much going on where they're not really too sure about things and they could go either way, you better have a relationship with them, okay? And that's the beauty of credit unions too, is they will approve people with bad credit. If you build your relationship with them properly, they will absolutely approve you. We had a community member, not even a 600 credit score, got approved for, I think, $14,000, $15,000 credit card. So it's all about the relationship, all right? And then once the trade lines hit the credit report, we were good to go to apply. And you can see all of the different approvals that she got. She's actually gotten over $100,000 in funding by, just this round of funding. And that's not even us really touching Equifax at all. We still have Equifax to work with. We're going to be going after some Equifax banks. Truist is a really good one. You don't necessarily need to have a bank account or a relationship with them. I do recommend, though, if you could go into a branch to work and apply with a relationship manager, that would be best for them because that's going to help you get higher limit approvals. And I will tell you something, I have spoken with many relationship managers and they all say the same thing essentially, all right? And if you can get them out of the branch, take them to lunch, take them to coffee, take them to dinner, have a real conversation with them where they're not recorded, they can spill more beans to you, all right? But they're going to tell you that the information on the application is super important, okay? And you have to make sure that that information on the application matches what you want, all right? And we're going to go over that later on in this masterclass, but it's really important, all right, guys? Because think of it from the bank's point of view. If you put down that your household income or that your projected income is $100,000 and you're asking for a $50,000 credit card, they might look at you like you're crazy. Like, no, we're not going to give you half of your income, So you have to make sure that it makes sense for the bank, all right? And I'll put some quotes in here of what some bankers have told me in the past, all right? So let's talk about credit stacking and the importance of credit stacking. We're going to get all into that in the very next episode of this trade line series because it is so important for you guys to understand what credit stacking is and how to accomplish it. You need to make a plan and stick with it and not just try to make shots in the dark and keep your fingers crossed. All right, guys, we want to go about this very strategically. We want to make a plan and figure out what the best course of action it is based on your goals, right? So I shared with you one story of one of my VIP clients, and if you are looking for those same type of results, book a call with me. No, I do not charge a funding or a success fee. I am a coach, therefore you're paying for coaching with me, and we can help you fix up and get funding ready. We can help you through the process. We can recommend what banks and what financial institutions, and you'll be working directly with me if you do choose to work in the VIP program one-on-one. There's also the credit community where we have live calls and access to just a wealth of information regarding personal credit, business credit, trade lines, credit stacking, starting a business, social media. I mean, everything that you need to know. Get on these live calls because that's where the magic happens, guys. I will see you next time. Make sure that you're subscribed, like, comment, and most importantly, share this information with others. I'll see you next time and watch all the videos in the series.